Yeah. I guess the question I had was the last sort of single that we saw from you. I mean, was about 2011, Rescue Me. But is that when you stopped?
Yeah, you know it. Well, I didn't officially stop then because as a matter of fact, there are like two or three songs from that era that we never did anything with that I'm actually going to dust off. And because I'm like, this song is too good for me, and we never pitched it to anyone,
Mm.
and we're gonna use some of them songs. Because I mean, I'm telling you, I've really the time has gone on so long, and I'd write, and then I'd be like, I don't feel like doing this. But at this point, I have enough literally for two projects. So I'm
Mm.
thinking I'm gonna do I was like a volume one and a volume two of Uncle Trey Returns. Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
But where did you get I never even found out of where you got the skills to write because you wrote almost half most of the songs on your debut album in
Yeah, well,
92.
like I'm saying, I was doing a lot of writing. I thought I touched on it with Mariah's stuff. Mariah's pen game was just so amazing that it elevated mine, you know?
Oh.
So, but yeah, I've been writing songs since I was a kid. Matter of fact, my cousin and I had our first hit in around 77. If she hears this interview, she is going to say, You are a fool. Hey, Natasha, I don't know what you can do. Let me name my funk on you. That was so that we were writing during the funk era, okay?
Okay, 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 okay.
Exactly.
But then Sony trusted you too, right? Because normally when you sign, they say, okay, let's get Jimmy and Terry or Ella and Babyface or Teddy Rat to do the production.
Which I
And
would have loved, honestly. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you. But we had already, so remember, I told you I was already about to sign a deal with Virgin. And they kind of came in and swooped. They're like, well, let us hear this music, and everything. So we ended up
oh, okay. So
doing
it
some.
wasn't a case where they signed you and they said, let's start working on music. They thought we need to just get you regardless and take your project as a way of saving you.
Well, I had the songs written, but they all weren't recorded. We were still in the talking. So the songs that really were going to go on there were the songs that I had done with Redhead. But we had other songs that I was working on as well. So I was like, oh, I got some other stuff too. We just hadn't gotten to that with Red and whatnot. But yeah, so the Virgin deal with it, because I think Red was on Virgin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so Gene had deals with Virgin, so I think he had Deja on Virgin. Then he
Uh-huh.
had deals with Motown. So today we're on Motown as well as Basic Black. So he was just, and then Guy were on Uptown. So he was just signing production deals everywhere and had, yeah. So yeah,
Got you.
yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where yeah, that's why he wanted to get you on Virgin. Um, but how much of the in business did you learn from that time? So when Sony came, that you had a better negotiation.
I had a good lawyer. That
Okay.
I knew I needed to have. So I had a good lawyer, and they really, they made an offer that basically, because I really wanted to work with Virgin. I felt that they really believed in my talent, and but they couldn't compete
Max.
with the right. They couldn't match what Sony did. And at that time, so I just was like, no, I'm going with Sony.
But in
I'm
hindsight,
going with this money.
no, but in hindsight, because we had Janet just signed with Virgin. After Seven were on Virgin. So they were up and coming. But in hindsight, for your career, you if you had to make the choice today, knowing what you know, would you have still stayed with Sony or would you have gone with
I
Virgin?
would have. I just would have been more vocal at Sony. Like I would have, instead of letting them pick my singles, I would have been more, no, I know this should be the next single. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of just listening to them, but my second single I always felt should have been a song called Always in Love. And they, they wanted to go with Photograph of Mary, which was not one of my favorites, but but they did do a nice remix on it. I will say that. So I ended up going in with Corey Rooney and try to do more like a version of like what I really wanted and everything. But yeah, I just probably would be a little bit more vocal, I feel. Um because they really did give me a great deal. So, you know.
With there were two things that really got stood out was when you did the Unplugged. Was that planned? I'll be there.
Not really. I'll be there. The MTV Unplugged was planned.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry. But then at the last minute, they feel they needed another song, and they approached Mariah about it. And I think Walter and Mariah and Walter, who they figured it out, said we should do a cover, and I think that's how they decided on "I'll Be This." Now this is literally like a day before the show because we had been in rehearsals, and we had already gone and rehearsed at where the MTV Unplugged place was. So I think they decided kind of like at the last minute, we need another song. It's not long enough. So that's what they decided, like, I'll be there. And I think Mariah, knowing how much I love
Yeah.
all the old school, was like, I know Trey is going to know all this. So I didn't even have to go pull up the lyrics since I already knew it, And so we rehearsed it that night. And then now what I didn't know is that they were going to release it as a single. Like we just thought it was just going to be a song we did. I didn't even know they were going to release Unplugged as an album. So this happened fairly quickly. Like maybe a day or two after we actually did the performance, Tommy called me in and said, we're going to release this. It's going to be the next single for Mariah. And I was like, what? And I was like, did I sound good on that thing?
I would say that's probably the one song that everyone remembers from that Unplugged.
Right. It probably is because it was played, so it went to number one.
Yeah.
That I'm proud to say, I'll Be There was only the 8th song in the rock and roll era that went to number one twice by the original artist and then again as a cover.
Wow.
So I was a part of history. And listen, I gotta tell this, man. As a result of that, our musical director, his name is Daniel Moore, used to be the musical director for the Jacksons. So he knows them. And Jackie Jackson, who is the oldest Jackson, I believe that's Jackie's picture right there, has come to a few of our shows. So, about the 3rd time he's at the show, I'm like, Jackie, man, we got this thing in common. We end up singing, the same song together. We got this history. Man, you might as well just go ahead and let me be an honorary Jackson. and he said, oh, man, of course. So I'm proud to say that I am an honorary Jackson cousin. So,
did you ever meet Michael though?
Yes, and he told me a few times actually, and he said, "Oh man, you guys did an amazing job on I'll Be There," and I was like, "Thanks, Michael." Yeah, and Janet,
Oh, goodness. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between
us, or even loving us, on which I did miss you with
What was it like growing up?
she's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me, I promise. Gabe.
No. Okay, you okay?
They don't understand what Jonas' voice meant at all.
Play it.
And all these guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different genres.